Olive, Specter, and Nervous Subject are back in The Sims 4, and I built their official home in the new expansion pack. Quick disclaimer before we jump into this video. I'm not getting paid by EA to make this video, but I did get paid to build this house. And as part of the EA Creator Network, I sometimes receive pack for free and early access opportunities like this one. Also, this is a super early version of the pack and not final software whatsoever. And I'm also using shaders in my game that basically makes the game look much prettier, so the actual game will look different from this, but I'll show you the end result both with and without shaders on. Hi, I'm Sophie, and today I am super excited to show you the second house that I built for the Life and Death expansion pack. So, confession, I kind of forgot to hit record when I started building this house, which is why the speed build is starting off with the stop motion footage. So I was asked by EA to build 3 houses for the new expansion pack, and this was actually the first house that I started on. And it was also the house that I struggled with the most. This pack is based on Romanian architecture, and that's a style I've never explored before. So the first thing I had to do was research. I actually rebuilt this house like 5 times in different ways. I even tried to make it look like Olive Specter's house in The Sims 2, but I couldn't really make it work on this lot and with this style. So eventually this was the house that I stuck with. But I made sure to keep the iconic graveyard next to Olive's house. This one is way smaller than the one in Sims 2 and it only has 2 gravestones, but there is plenty of space for you to fill it up as you play. So if you watched my last video where I built the Grim Reaper's office for the pack, you already know that we didn't have that many items to work with in the beginning. So our first task was just to build the base of the house and then place out placeholder furnitures that we later switch out for the new assets. So what you're seeing now is just me switching out a lot of the base game furnitures that I had already placed. I had a couple of requirements for this build. It needed to have 3 bedrooms, 1 couple's bedroom, a teen bedroom, and a guest bedroom, 3 bathrooms, some kind of instrument, an easel, a memorial altar, tarot deck, a whispering flower statue, which is super cute, a notebook, and at least 1 TV. I also got some backstory on the Sims living here with like some of their likes and dislikes. So I could, for example, avoid using like a color that they didn't like. If you haven't done it already, I really recommend you to watch my previous video with the Grimm's office to learn more about how the actual process of working with EA on this pack was. I'm not gonna go through all of it again, but we had a couple of deadlines and then we got feedback after like every round of building. And I'll show you on the screen all of the feedback that I got so you know when and why I am switching things out. I also just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support that I got on my last video and the build itself. I was very nervous to make a YouTube video like this and tell the world that I was the one who built the official Grim Reaper's office, but after all the amazing and sweet comments that I got from you, I am super excited to continue sharing my builds on here. So make sure that you subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications so you can follow along my YouTube journey. And if you like what I'm building and want to support me even further, then it would really mean the world to me if you wanted to use my creator code if you're buying the Life and Death expansion pack or any other The Sims 4 pack. It's SOFY, and you just type it in at checkout in the EA app or on thesims.com. It's unfortunately not a discount code, but it gives me a small percentage of the purchase and it gives EA a little less money. Using any Sims 4 creators code in general is a very nice and appreciated way of showing your support for them. I was so happy when I found out that I was going to get to build this house. The Sims 2 has a very special place in my heart. Everything was just better by then, or at least that's how I remember it. And I also remember playing a lot with the Specter household back then. In Sims 2, Olive was an elder sim that lived with her niece Ophelia, and I have this very particular and stupid memory from playing with them. When loading into this household in The Sims 2, it didn't take very long for Olive to pass away from old age. So I kept playing with Ophelia, and soon after her aunt's death, Ophelia wants to adopt a child. And who am I to say no to that? So I call up the adoption service and order a child. And they say they will show up the first thing in the morning. So I let Ophelia's day go by and then she goes to sleep and then she wakes up and then she has some breakfast and then her carpool arrives and she leaves to go to work. And soon after that, the kid delivery service rolls up on the driveway and drops off Ophelia's child. Great, but it wasn't great. The thing is, back in the days, kids couldn't stay at home alone. So while Ophelia is at work, I get a call that says, "You're a lousy mother and we're coming right back to pick up that child." And they do. They take the kid away before Ophelia is back home from work. Super annoying. But I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna order a new kid tomorrow and then call in sick from work. It's gonna be alright. Wrong. When I tried to call the Child Express back, they were like, sorry, we have blocked you from this service. And suddenly Ophelia is not allowed to adopt anymore. I rage quit without saving. A few days went by and then I opened the game again, loaded into the Specter family, had Olive pass away. Ophelia wanted to adopt the child. I called the adoption service, went to bed, woke up, had some breakfast, and then I let Ophelia leave for work. Anyways, I added a secret basement to this build. So the story about Olive is that she's rumored to kill off her husbands just so that she can meet the Grim Reaper, who is her actual true love. There's not a lot of items in the base game or in the pack to work with for this, but I did my best with what I could find. And I encourage you to use your imagination. But there's a chair, there's some different kind of tools laying around, like water cans and I guess fertilizer, and then there's knives and a fridge, because if you leave meat out for too long, it's gonna spoil. If you got your hands on the pack and already played with the Specter household, let me know if you found the basement yourself and what your first thoughts were. I really wish that I could see everyone's first reaction to it, so please just tell me. Kitchen items were like the first thing that we got into the game, as EA were working on adding in new pack assets, and beds were one of the last things that we got. So that's why I have placeholder furnitures in the bedrooms until like the very last minute. I really like the look of the new furnitures. Like I can really see myself using them in a lot of other builds. Some of the swatches are truly beautiful, like the green that I use in Olive Specter and her current husband's bedroom. I wonder how long he's gonna live, by the way. Nervous subject is called Nyan in this pack, by the way, and he's a teen. If you didn't already know this, he's actually the Grim Reaper's son, and he has a birthmark on his neck to prove it. That's actually a really fun detail that EA added to the game with this pack. Like if you have a child with Grim, they will have this mark and also this like trait that will tell you where they come from. But anyways, this build is starting to come to an end. I would love to hear what you think about this house, if it's good enough for Olive Specter, and also what you think about the new pack in general if you had the time to play with it already. There's still one more house that I built for this pack that I haven't showed you yet. It's located in the Morningvale neighborhood and it was built for 2 ghosts. So let me know if you want to see that house even though the pack is already out. Maybe it's still fun to see the process of me building it, although you can actually like check it out for yourself in the game. But I would love to talk about it and show you the building process of that house as well if you want to see it. I've also started on my first build with a pack that is completely free of restrictions and also using like every other pack. It's huge and super cool. So make sure to come back here if you want to see that house as well. And again, I would really appreciate if you wanted to support me by using my creator code SOFY if you are buying the Life and Death expansion pack. Thank you so much for watching this far and enjoy the last part of this video. I wish you all the best and hope to see you back here soon. Bye!